Dime qué es lo que esperas. Dime qué quieres ver.
Good morning, beautiful ones. Welcome back to the House of Joseph. If you're new here, I am Joseph. It's lovely to meet you. And if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. Now then, beautiful ones, in today's video tutorial thing, we're going to be looking at this, which is the Infallible powder in a foundation in a powder, 24-hour fresh wear, and this is in shade Ivory. We're going to be playing around with it, so I'll show you how to get the best out of a powder foundation. Today's tutorial, guys, isn't a blind review. This is a brand new product, but this won't be a blind review. I'll do a blind review on the Infallible 24-hour fresh wear makeup powder foundation a little bit later on in the week, if that's okay with you guys. So, obviously, I don't know anything about this because I bought it with the intention of reviewing it. And what I do with on blind reviews is that I don't look at the website or anything like that. I try the product out, and then towards the end of the tutorial, I look at the website to see whether my findings marry up with the company's claims, so on and so forth. And that means in that instance that I need to try and find as many clues as I can from the product itself. Now, there's some writing up here. You see the description, and the bottom part of that is ingredients. However, there's no English on this at all. And English is unfortunately the only language I speak. So beautiful ones, this is the Infallible foundation in a powder fresh wear, 24-hour fresh wear, in shade Ivory. I imagine it's going to be way too pale for my... Mind you, I am quite pale, aren't I? So it may work, but then again, it probably will turn me into Casper or something. And it comes in quite a nice little red cassette compact thing, and this is 9 grams, and I think it was about 13-14 pounds. So without any further waffle, I'll get him open. So can you see? And that looks really pale, doesn't it? And you've got a little sponge in there as well. And I'll just start by getting some of this on my face, shall I? And I won't be calling myself old today, because that's very offensive to me. Right, so there we have some of the foundation on the sponge, and I'll just start by applying, can you see how full coverage it is? This is giving me vibes very much of the Maybelline 24-hour Superstay Hybrid Powder Foundation, which is, again, a full coverage foundation. I know nothing about this one, its coverage or its finish. I think it's quite a matte sort of finish on the skin, and all I know is it's one of those ones that bonds with the skin. Do you know what I mean? And then once it's on your skin, you won't be able to take it off for 24... Well, of course you can take it off, but waffling. Very faintly scented, I think. I've got loads of aftershave on again, but I think I can smell something in there. So the sponge is quite nice, I guess. Just a bog standard sponge. Formulation on the skin, it glides on, so far so good. Now then, can you see what I mean about looking like a ghost? It's just... And they didn't have that many shades in Super. I think they only said 4 or 5 different shades of this one. But right, okay. Can you see it has just mattified my entire face now? It's just blocked it in, and this is what I thought it would do. Got you guys in for a little bit closer, so we can have a close inspection. So I suppose it is quite satiny, isn't it, on the skin? Although I'm not very pleased with the fact that it's just mattified. It's just blocked my skin in with just one colour, isn't it? And if you think about it, skin's made up of hundreds and hundreds of different shades, and foundations just come in one shade. So that's why they tend to look so unnatural on the skin. But I'll just put my glasses on and have an inspection. Let's have a close look. This is paler than me, winter pale. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously in the summer I get my skin tends to go a little bit darker, but this is way too pale for me. I suppose it's giving my skin a very velvety sort of look. Okay. And it hasn't even got any of that sheen around here, and I'll show you how to fix that in a minute if that's okay. Right then, beautiful ones. Now then, to utterly transform something like a powder foundation to make it look invisible on the skin, you'll need a jug of water and a foundation brush or a sponge. You can do this technique with a sponge if you want, although today I'm going to show you how to do it with a foundation brush. So first of all, just soak your brush, make sure it's sopping wet, and because this powder is one of those waterproof ones, it will it won't cause one of those horrible films on the top of the powder foundation. And I've just cleaned my skin, I should have told you that, sorry. Being remiss again, aren't I? So can you see that sopping wet? And all we're going to do is just go in and soak the surface of the foundation. Can you see it's repelling the water? Sort of. When I first put it in there, it pushed the water away because this is a silicone-based foundation, and silicone and water repel each other. But if you keep working at it, you can get a nice paste. It's a bit messy, but you know, as the formulation starts to dry, the powder absorbs the water. So that should be plenty for our first application. Just load some of that onto the back of my hand. Can you see the paste it's made there? Right, so let's get some of this one onto this old face of mine. Less of the old man. How many times? Trouble with myself yet again, guys. That happens on quite a regular basis, doesn't it, on the House of Joseph? How are you all? Are you all okay, beautiful ones? Hope so. Sorry I haven't been filming so much recently. I've got stuff going on in my old personal life, but I think it's all coming to an end now, which is good, isn't it? So I'm about to focus on just filming good quality videos for you, beautiful ones. Quality content, I mean. And yeah, okay, it's starting to dry now, so you've got to work reasonably quickly, I guess, to get it onto your face. But once you've got this technique down to pat, you can do this with any sort of powder foundation you want. I'm only doing this with this one because it's nude, you know what I mean? I'm flacking this old brush around, aren't I, today, guys? This is one of the ones that I used, that I got from Wilko's, and Wilko's are closing down, £3.50, and this is an amazing brush. I got 3 of these. I got this one, I got my stippling brush, and I got my oval brush too, and they were £3.50 each, which you can't go wrong with, can you, guys? So gorgeous ones. This is a layer of the Infallible foundation, powder foundation, applied with a soaking brush, and can you see the difference it's made? The colour almost looks slightly different as well, doesn't it? Because it's a lot sheerer than it was, first of all. So it's the opacity isn't there anymore, and we've changed the nature of the foundation on my skin, so that, and it's still bonded with my skin, and it will still last for 24 hours, and it will repel water and sweat and all of those other things that the foundation itself would have done in the first place. However, now it just looks perfect. It's merged with my skin, hasn't it? So it's become one with my skin. Just clean up eyebrows. That's an essential part of any demo which I do on this channel. So I just have a close inspection. Ah, that's loads better. It still looks a bit obvious though, doesn't it? It's because the shade's totally out. So obviously when you're doing this, you need to try and get the shade as close to your natural skin tone as possible. But can you see here and here? It has just transformed it, hasn't it, totally? I mean, play around with it, guys. Do you know what I mean? Because if I'd gone in with a soap sponge, then it would have given me an even more natural look than I've got now. However, if you want a little bit more coverage, and go in with a soaked brush. If you want sheerer coverage, go in with a soaked sponge. So now then, just before I close today, I'm going to teach you how to do one other little thing, which is to transform a powder foundation into a concealer. Again, gorgeous one, same technique as before. This time we're going to be using a concealer brush. Can you see that one there? So again, just soak that one. That's sopping wet now, you can see that, can't you? And just pop it into your powder, make it into a paste. In this way you get 3 or 4 products out of just out of the one powder foundation. So far we've got the powder itself as a foundation. We've also soaked our brush, haven't we, to get this this ultra natural sort of look. And now we're going to make it into a concealer too. So just load some of that onto the back of my hand, because obviously we don't want to be using all of that, and just go in with the brush. And this will last all day, guys, as well, because obviously, you know, it's the qualities or the properties of the powder of the foundation. We're just transferring them in, but we're transforming them into now a concealer. So, wow. Well, I'm really pleased with this. Just amazing, isn't it? So beautiful ones. That's how we transform the look of quite a cakey, heavy sort of powder foundation into one that just looks flawless and natural, and with a very lovely glow. It's bonded with my skin. It's become one with my skin. It looks like I've got nothing on my skin now. And we've also learned how to transform a powder foundation into a concealer. So that's it for today. Sorry the video is so short today, but I'm trying to keep my videos as short as possible. If you enjoyed today's tutorial, don't forget to give this one a thumbs up. Similarly, consider subscribing. Have a wonderful Saturday and a lovely weekend, and I'll see you all very soon. Lots of love.